Okay, so shit was crazy yesterday. I literally just woke up from all the madness that went down yesterday. I went to bed at like 4 a.m. I'm in like 3-4 hours of sleep, so bear with me, okay? I just landed in Berkeley and look what I found.
Let's see if I can die from the storm.
What I noticed yesterday was that codes were being found and a lot of people weren't really understanding where they were coming from. Even me, I really didn't know where the codes were coming from. And because people were kept sharing the codes, it didn't really give the chance for other people to find it themselves. So I still wanted to know how they were found. So this is gonna be basically a video explaining everything, how the codes were found, theories, potential music, I don't know. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start by explaining how this all started. So basically, if you don't know, a while ago, 21 Pilots went live on YouTube for like a few seconds, and everyone was like, what the fuck is going on? Because no one even ended up seeing the live. I think it was on accident, right? We realized something was gonna happen. So then they announced it that yesterday at 5 p.m. my time, I think it was 12 p.m. EST, I don't remember, that basically there was gonna be a live stream. So what happened was, actually before that, Tyler tweeted saying there's no new music because people were getting their hopes up and he didn't want to do that. So he was like, there's no new music, so there's no new music, but there's a couple of theories around music, and I'll let you all know later on this video. But basically, yeah, that happened. So then the live stream started, and there was a phone number. Actually, I want to add, I'm getting all this information. I didn't find it myself. There's this account on Twitter called Spark _underscore visuals, and that's how I'm getting all my information. And also there's a Reddit thread on it too. So yeah, on the TV that went on the live stream for 1 hour, there was phone number, and if you call that phone number, this is the message. I'm gonna play it for you guys.
If you are receiving this message, you most likely are currently experiencing level of concern. We thank you for your participation and interest. We have hidden codes all around the internet for you to unlock new levels. Each level contains elements that could possess a clue to proceed to the next level. That is, only if you are savvy enough. We guarantee that this game is certainly madness, happiness, paranoia, and fun. Good luck. That concludes our session. Thank you. Have a pleasant day. It's hidden in the static.
There's the message that says it's hidden in the static. So if you look at the static on the TV, it appears the first code, and you type in the first code, and it unlocks the first USB drive, which has a couple of files. I'll only mention what's inside the files when I think it's needed. So we realized that certain symbols corresponded to numbers or letters, and why is that important? Stay tuned because I'll explain that later. Oh, I forgot to say, the website was on the description for the live stream. And then there was a couple of videos, a couple of photos, and there's an audio file saying level 1. So for about an hour, everyone was going crazy trying to find code 2, and people were like trying to look for clues within the first USB drive. And later what happened was the code was released by a level of concern page on both Reddit, Twitter, and Instagram. It's level of concern but without the vowels. Those pages are still up, and they basically released the code in parts. So first it was Twitter, and then it was the Reddit post, and then it was Instagram. So that's how you find the second code. And then the third code, we're not sure how it was found, but the first time the code was seen, I guess, was on the YouTube comments on the live stream. The code was posted there. We're not sure that if that's how the code first popped up, but yeah. Okay, so code number 4, it was pretty similar to code number 3. No one really knows where it came from, but the code was found in a live chat on Twitch, so yeah. Code number 5. So code number 5 was found in the file for the USB drive, for the 4th USB drive. So yeah, on the USB 4, there's a photo with a rabbit named Zoom. So if you zoom in the photo, you'll find the codes on certain parts of the image. And if you put that, it gives you level 5. How you find level 6 was through the files on level 5. There's a QR code there, and if you scan that QR code, it's gonna lead you to the music video for Level of Concern. Now, the file name for that QR code is Underneath the Surface. If you turn on the captions on the video of Level of Concern, when it says Underneath the Surface, under it is the code, so that's how people found the code for level 6. So now level 7, how we find the code for that one. So on the files for level 6, that was crossword puzzle, is that what you call it? So basically, if you do the crossword puzzle, you will find certain songs. So it's Lovely, Heathens, Levitate, Blurry Face, Chlorine, Migraine, Polarized, Jumps to the Trees, Legend, Ride, Truce, Bandito. And the rest of the numbers and letters were the code. And that's how you find the code for level 7. Now, level 8, how you find that code. So it was also in the files for level 7. There's a image, and the code says BADOLEMIXYURTS. And if you rearrange that that word, it spells, and I don't know how to pronounce this, but it will be on the screen here, the word, okay? And if you move the characters that are under that word that's scrambled up, right? If you move the same way you move the letters to make the word, it will make the code. I hope that makes sense. And that's how you find level 8. Now, level 9. So for level 9, there was a video and the files of level 8, and basically the text files has like a random code, I guess, and then on top it has the sign, and basically what it means is that you need to move one key to the left on your keyboard. Now, for me that was a struggle, because I don't have an English keyboard, so for me it's different, right? So yeah, you needed to have the right keyboard for that to work. Okay, now to find the code for level 10. So also in the previous files for level 9, there was an MP4 sound called shortwaves, and this was found from listening to the Morse code on that MP4. So basically, it gives you the Morse code, and then you translate the Morse code, and it gives you the code. Now, level 11, it was also in the files for level 10, and there was an MP4 file called Words, and basically the words were the certain code. So it was like SO572, LB641, FL133, TP34, TP93. So I'm gonna put them all here because I'm not gonna say them all, right? And the letters on the beginning are initials. So SO is for stressed out, initials of songs, right? So pretty much that's how it goes. And then for songs that have 3 numbers, basically the code for those 3 numbers was line, word, character. So if you go to, for example, stressed out SO572, So you have 5, you go to line 5 on the lyrics, and then 7, you go to word 7 on line 5, and then letter 2, so you go to the letter 2 of the word 7 in the line 5, if that makes sense. So that would be the first letter for the code, and then the second one, LB642, would give O, whatever. So it would give the code for level 12, so for level 11.
So I forgot to add that for those that had 2 numbers only, it was just the line and then the word, and the word would be like, for example, 8, that would correspond to the number of the code.
Now, level 12, how you find the code. So also in the files for the previous level, there was an MP4 file, and so the audio is encoded in a way which only I don't even know how to pronounce it either, so it's gonna be here, right? So basically only that can interpret it, and once it interprets, it pretty much gives you the code. Now, how you find the code for level 13. The clue was in the previous level, the clue was actually called clue, so, and in the image there was a link, and if you typed in the link, there was a terminal that asked you to enter a passcode, and the passcode was in an image. So the passcode was level of concern without the vowels. It would input then it would ask you to input your name, and you can literally input anything. It works. It doesn't change the output, right? And then it says I'm looking for keyword 1, keyword 2, and keyword 3, and then there were hints about the keywords. So the first keyword was what H becomes when it merges as O. So when H emerges as O, what basically means is H, which was the letter H in previous files, right? It was an image of a caterpillar, and the O was an image of a butterfly. And when a caterpillar emerges to a butterfly, this pretty much the process is called chrysalis. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that was the first keyword, and then the second keyword is the longest diagonal. So if you go to the the keyword cross game, whatever. I'm sorry, it's too early for me, and I had 4 hours of sleep, but you get what I mean, right? So the longest word was blurry face, so that's the second word, and then the third word, keyword was it will be posted by password. So when you say it will be posted by password, so the password was level of concern without the vowel. So basically what it meant was the level of concern accounts were gonna post the third keyword, and they basically posted TIDORIONINCTNA in like the different accounts, whatever. It was on Instagram stories, Twitter, and in the YouTube stream description. And if you rearrange this, it gives this really weird word, indoctrination. And basically indoctrination, what it means is the process of inculcating a person with ideas, attitudes, cognitive strategies, or professional methodologies. What this basically hinted at was that this somewhat had to do with Dima. So it mentions this weird word, it mentions blurry face. So people started making a lot of theories around Dima again, news, and I'll explain all the theories that I found in the end. So yeah, that's how you find code for level 13. Now for level 14, the code was in the previous file. There was a image called I, and if you open that image in the text editor, it reveals certain coordinates, and if you put those coordinates in the Google Maps, it will basically, like the buildings will make shapes. That would be the code. Now for level 15, it was also found in the previous file. There's an MP3 file called Number Station, yeah. And if you hear the audio, it's gonna give you numbers, and if you change those numbers from decimal to ASCII, it's gonna give you the code. So what we realized was that in every pen drive there were photos with symbols, and the names of those photos were either letters or numbers, And by this point, there were no more letters or numbers being given to us. So if you put the symbols, the letters, and the numbers, it's an alphabet, right? And it translates. So for level 17, it was also found in the previous file. There's a hint. There's an MP3 file called Program Set, and it was the worst thing I've ever listened to, right? If you load it into a spectrogram, it returns this like weird result that when decrypted, it gives you the code. Now, level 18, it was also found in the previous file. You must, the hint is on the file called no dashes. And it basically has like all the symbols we've seen previously and like this weird square thing. And what someone realized was that the amount of the symbol that is within the square is the amount of spaces you need to move. Now you can move in different spaces, right? You can move up, down, left, right, whatever. But you need to land on the last square on the corner. So you will need to make the correct move so that it lands exactly on the last space. So it was like try and error type of thing. Now, if you translate the symbols for the letters and the numbers, then that will give you the code. So whatever space you will land on, it will give you a letter or a number, and that would be the code. Now, for level 19, the code was fine. Also in the previous file, there was this weird music sheet with the codes, and if you translated the codes, it would give you the word hip al fresco, which if you rearrange, it spells sofa cipher. Now, if you put the music sheet in a sofa cipher, the code is given to you. Now, for code 20, I guess, we don't have it yet. But basically, in level 19 and the USB 19, there was a file called readme. And if you translate the code again, right, from the symbols we have found previously in previous files, it says go to the source. So if you go to the source code of the website, there is a CSS file called page.min.css, and the file contains a large URL encrypted. And if you decrypt it pretty much, it gave you a Braille code. And if you then converted that into a message, the message was, well done, the hive mind is very powerful. Unfortunately, the last puzzle is the hardest and leads to something special. You might want to keep the final code to yourself. Please come back on the 15th of this month at 12 p.m. EST and begin the final journey. Thank you for your participation. Good luck. So we don't really know what this really means. People think that because they say to keep the code for yourself, people think that the first people to find the code will get rewarded or something, or maybe it has nothing to do with that. So this is the time I dive into the theories. Oh, I also want to add there were a couple of messages within the files, right? And the messages were LOC, it's getting harder. So there were a couple of messages in the comments of the USB drive. So the first one was LOC, the second one was it's getting harder, then I need you to tell me we're alright, you look nice today, which was kind of weird. Yeah, there were a couple of messages, which was kind of like those 21 Pilot stuff, you know. So yeah, there's that. Then there's also Twitter user DZIKI Joseph tweeted this. So he said, or her, or they, don't know. Guys, the codes are a trap. The broadcast is a demo propaganda, and they invited us to play their game, and we joined it by trying in the first code. And then we became obsessed with finding the rest. We let them brainwash us. And the camera behind the TV that's in the live stream is recording us to see if the brainwashing works. So the clips of the zombie-like prisoners in the group chat are actually clips of us. We believe that we believed what was on TV and let Tima control us. So it's just like people always come up with these crazy theories, whether they're true or not. We don't know. It makes sense, it does, but we don't know. So yeah, there's that. Also, apparently the level of concern page on Reddit, I think, they posted, I'll tell you everything, but it won't be soon. This is a fun game and I like playing it with you. Something is going to happen on Twitter soon. And remember, the key to everything is 3 words. I'll delete it in 9 minutes. Why? We'll see soon enough. Follow Twitter. XO. I'm not sure when this was posted because obviously it was deleted. But yeah, there's that. Do whatever you want with that information. I also wanna add, code 13 and 14 were found actually not even in order by random people. We're not sure where they came from. And once you put those codes in, what happened was it would first give like this really GIF saying I don't think so, right? And then it started giving errors to people. Now, I don't know if you didn't realize, I didn't talk about level 16. We're not pretty sure how level of 16 was found. There were, in the previous files, there were a couple of video files that had words like above, negotiate, whatever, and those were the words on the videos, but then there were different words as the file names for the videos. We're not sure, but we know it's somehow related to that, but I really don't know how it came to be that code. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's all the theories I found on it. Actually, there's a final theory, which is really far-fetched, and it's probably not it, but I'm still that dumb bitch that wants to believe that's it, right? So a couple of radio stations have announced that there's new 21 Pilots music next Friday. And everyone was like, a lot of radio stations, right? And everyone was like, what the heck, right? But we tend to not believe in them because people, like, they do that for clout, whatever it is. But like, what if they release the songs from Original at Best that are not in Vessel? I mean, it's not new music. Tyler wasn't technically lying saying that we weren't gonna get new music. Like, what if? I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is so far-fetched and it's probably not it, but I just wanted to say that because it was on my mind. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I guess I'll update you guys in 2 days on how code 20 goes down and whatever code 20 is, right? And yeah, good luck with everyone trying to find code 20. If there are more theories or more things you thought I should have talked about, please reply in the comments so that everything is compiled in like this one video, right? And yeah, stream Level of Concern by 21 Pilots.